George Floyd? What is wrong with some of y'all? Like, are we serious? Hey, it's Jade. Today I will be reviewing the Love Island Season 7 reunion. And whew, that mess got heated. Andy Cohen co-hosted and he did a great job. Asked the questions we wanted to know the answers to. He was reading my mind in real time. It was magical. So if you're interested, stick around. Let's get into it. So immediately as we start, Andy gets to the business. He's like, oh my God, hi, it's so nice to meet you guys. I've been being obsessed with you all summer. Brian, did you cheat on Maya? And honestly, I respect it, Andy, because it's 2 hours. It's a long reunion. We've been waiting in anticipation for a month. Let's get straight into it. All that is that I guess Brian was pouring shots in people's mouths. Maybe some stuff happened with him and Amaya, maybe not. All in all, I have recently learned that they've unfollowed each other on Instagram. So I'm not even gonna waste my time talking about it. It's a waste of a season, truly. Chris came out the gate with that negative energy for Huda, and I loved it. I loved it. The hosts were asking how it was seeing each other after the dumpster, trash, garbage, insane, worst date ever, cut water drunk scene. That was their final date. Had they spoken to each other since? Is there possibly room for a friendship? And honestly, I don't even know why we are asking these questions. That was the worst date, I think, in life, in human history. Yeah, so basically Chris was like, yeah, no, it's mad weird seeing her. No, there isn't possibility for a friendship. And yes, my mom is very excited about the outcome of our relationship. She is glad that it did not go down the path of progression. And yeah, Chris came with all the smoke and I was here for it. Huda was a little too chipper this whole reunion episode, and I really didn't like it because, girl, you're the problem. FYI, if y'all tuning in to my channel for the first time, if you're a Huda supporter, I hate to tell you, you are in enemy territory. Get the out. Get the out. I don't do the Huda support over here. She's crazy. She needs help. Truly. She needs to stop hopping from man to man. And the only person she needs to be seeing right now is a freaking therapist to unpack some issues. Then, Andy wants to know about Huda's relationship status. And I don't know if you're living under a rock or not, or if you're chronically online like me. But Huda's been out and about with one of Miguel's besties and Netflix dating reality star Louis Russell. When she's asked about her relationship status, she's like, Netflix is very tight on what I can say, and I can't see that. Oh, I'm sorry, like Netflix. Andy is baffled. He's like, does Netflix know this is the #1 show on a streaming platform this summer? And it's so funny because she's giving the energy of like, this person got picked up early for a doctor's appointment and they came back to school with McDonald's for lunch. I'm so much better than you guys. Netflix said I can't say anything. Come on, let's be for real. Netflix did not say that to you, Huda. Netflix let AD and Ollie announce that they were engaged prior to Perfect Match even coming out. They may have honestly announced that they were expecting prior to Perfect Match's most recent season even coming out. Okay? That would have spoiled one of the storylines for that show prior to it even coming out. Netflix didn't care about that. So I know Netflix doesn't give a crap about whatever you and Louis are doing. Like, Netflix literally does not care. It has bigger fish to fry. Relax. What probably happened is she and Louis aren't like together yet. And so she was talking to him and being like, oh my God, like, what do I say if I go to the reunion? And they asked me like what my relationship status is. And Louis was probably like, tell them Netflix doesn't want you to say. And so she took it and ran with it. But girl, you're not fooling anybody. And basically by you saying, Netflix won't let me share, you kind of answered without answering. Like, whether you and Louis are dating or not, y'all are involved. You're involved enough for you to say, Netflix won't let me share. Get out my face, girl. Neither Olandria or Nick have spoken to Sierra since leaving the shows. And I just thought it was very funny to see Sierra in these scenes, these unseen footage scenes that we watch, because she was truly such a big part of the show. And it's not like Yulissa where, you know, she got sent home for racist remarks on the second day. Like, Sierra made it a good ways in, and she was a very vital character to the show. So it was just so interesting to not see her perspective from there. But yeah, Nick and Olandria haven't talked to her. It seems like Nick may have reached out-ish, was planning on it. But then, like, she was throwing subliminal signs at him and Olandria through TikToks, through Reels. And it was just like, waste of my time. And honestly, I mean, I respect it. She's very much, it just sucks because I really liked Sierra before all of this went down. And then she's kind of like embarrassing herself by throwing shot after shot at them. And it's just like, let it go. You've got followers if that is what you came for. If not, it's a byproduct of the show. You can make a living off of that. Take your followers, exit the drama, and just be happy. Okay. We came to the moment where Ace and Shelly are asked, was it a surprise to you that you guys were like voted low on the questions by the US population? And they want to be like, yeah, like, it was so shocking to me, and people weren't voting like this was Love Island, because if they were voting like it was Love Island and not Favoritism Island, then we would have still been there. Ace, Chihuahua, Stewie Griffin, Minion, Pipsqueak, whatever the freak your last name is. I know you're not talking. You're the one who set this mess up that way. It wasn't Favoritism Island. It was Love Island. Until you ruined it. And Austin and Jeremiah are cracking up in the back because Austin is like, it's the system you designed. I don't know why no one said to Ace and Shelly. I really hate this for Shelly because she just happened to like kind of be paired with Ace. But America loved Jeremiah. Jeremiah was the victim in the Huda Jeremiah toxic situation, at least to me. Everyone has their own think piece now. I know how you all like to tussle about it, but to me and this channel, we believe that Jeremiah was the victim. And so when there was an opportunity to seek Ace's head on a silver platter and deliver it to Jeremiah to make our king proud again, revenge was taken. And I definitely voted to put Ace and Shelly last, and I'm not mad about it. And other people did too. Obviously, that's why they were like 8th, 9th, whatever the heck. And Shelly, that is the reason why you were brought down. Because you were paired with Ace. And Ace hates Jeremiah so bad. Every time Jeremiah is happy around him, or around him, period, that man's jaw clenches up. He can't breathe around that man. Jeremiah's peace incites violence in that man's heart. Because why are Jeremiah and Ace talking, just having a conversation, and Ace is already on 100? The conversation just started. What are you so freaking angry from? I don't understand why that man just breathing the same oxygen as Ace is just so toxic to Ace. It's quite bewildering to me. One thing I love is that they showed us some clips of unseen footage in this reunion, and we finally saw the footage of what led to the decision of Jeremiah being sent home. The whole time, and I must admit I was wrong. They're not the Three Musketeers. We saw in that footage that Nick was the only one who had Jeremiah's back. Nick was saying how Jeremiah was now open to meeting Andrina and building a connection with her. Taylor came out the gate already saying, no, Jeremiah, pack it up. And obviously we know where Ace's head was at. So it was really 2 versus 1, when this whole time I thought that Ace was this mastermind brainwashing the boys. And I mean, he was clearly brainwashing Taylor. But Nick, I am so sorry. You are cool with me. You're down with the brown. I mean, more than just Olandria, Jeremiah too. So we good. We are good. Frico Nico. Now, one thing I will also semi-apologize for. Ace, I am a little bit sorry. I have been going very hard on you this past season. You make it very easy to. But you did admit that you regret sending Jeremiah home. And that delivered peace to my heart. And so I was able to sleep pleasantly last night hearing that you were sorry. I appreciate that you said it. So I'll hop off you for a little bit. Other things that happened, we learned Clark has come to visit Taylor a couple times in Oklahoma. Andy asked if Taylor wants to get on his knees and beg for forgiveness and say sorry to Olandria for basically leading her on and wasting her time the whole show. Early on in the show, he said he wasn't attracted to her, and Olandria said, well, you had me looking stupid, like I was giving desperate, and that's one thing that I'm not. And girl, I believe you. But it was just really hard when the whole time he never had the courage to say that he wasn't attracted to you. He just switched over to Clark when he had the opportunity to. And so Taylor delivers the worst, fakest, most forced apology I've ever seen in my life. He goes like, oh, well, like, you know, you were just my dog, and we would just laugh all the time, and like, I'm sorry, like, you still my dog. And Olandria goes, she looks at the camera like freaking Gregory from Abbott Elementary. It was so funny. And then it's dead freaking silent. You could hear a pin drop. And then Ace goes, do we clap? I was cracking up. That was the worst apology I've ever seen in my life. Olandria came in, she stood on business. Something came up where like the Love Island people were out the night before. Someone asked Olandria if she wanted to talk to Coco. She was like, nah, I'm good. And Coco, because she's not getting enough camera time, because really, I don't even know why some of the Casa Amor people other than Clark were there. They really didn't speak at all. So, I mean, I guess they got the invite, so why not show up? But, because Coco was mad about her 5 seconds of fame, she had to incite an argument with Olandria for some more screen time. And so Olandria said that her no came from Coco being on like this hate train for her and Shelly. She went on a podcast. She was talking about some stuff. I don't know. I didn't listen to any of the podcasts with Casa Amor people. I don't care enough, truly. But anyways, whatever she said on the podcast, she reached out to Olandria to apologize through DM. And Olandria said, yeah, I saw it. I wasn't fucking. So, yeah, I saw it. Didn't care though. So sorry. All of a sudden, everything everybody said on a podcast isn't what they meant to say. Funny how that works. Huda was also called out for being on the Olandria Shelley bully hate train. She went on Call Her Daddy. Huda said she was a victim of bullying in the house. Even though Andy was like, it looks like you had a lot of friends. So where did now you thinking that you're being bullied come from? And I guess it came from clips of the show she saw afterwards. And so her being like, oh my God, I was bullied, I hate that. But seeing comments of people bullying Olandria and Shelley, she didn't think to say anything about that now, did she? She just let it go. And apparently Olandria said someone was so sick to plaster her face on George Floyd's body. George Floyd? Y'all might as well have put her face on Emmett Till. What the heck is actually wrong with some of y'all? Y'all so mad at Sierra? Y'all sending death threats to Sierra about her making the derogatory comment towards the Asian community. Y'all out here doing the same thing, if not worse. Y'all are no better than Sierra, no better than Yulissa. Y'all will never be on Love Island because y'all know Love Island doesn't stand for that mess. Huda's preaching about she hates bullying, but Olandria and Shelley are getting racist bullying remarks via all social media pages. And Huda never said anything about it, never asked her fan base to stop, even though she was so dead set on introducing her daughter to Shelley and Olandria and then being friends forever, then planning trips. Speaking of your daughter, girl, when's the last time you saw her? But I bet you've seen Louis' kids. Yeah. Okay. Another couple I don't care about, but I will fill you guys in. Jaden and Austin left the villa as a couple, and then Jaden was like, hey Austin, if you're gonna date around, just let me know so I'm not out here looking stupid. And I guess he went on a date with someone and didn't do that, so she viewed it as her betraying him. I'm not gonna lie, and this kind of ties in with the Brian thing. None of these people are in a relationship. I hate to break it to y'all. Maybe a few are exclusive here and there, such as, Shelley and Ace are exclusive, I think. Brian and Amaya weren't. So when y'all phrase it oh my God, Brian cheated on Amaya, no, he didn't. They're not even together. And when you're dating in the real world, a lot of people date multiple people until they find someone that they want to lock in with. And then when they lock in, that's okay, we're not going to mess with other people. It's strictly just us. So in the same way, I don't really care about Jaden and Austin, but Austin didn't do anything wrong. Sure, she asked for, please let me know. He could have, but at the end of the day, if he didn't want to, he didn't owe her that. They were dating on a TV show where he dated multiple people. That man's a freak, if you haven't learned from the show. That man is adventurous when it comes to certain things. And so for you to even be if you're gonna date other people, he's dating with other people, he's hooking up, especially because he has a bigger following and more of a pool of women to pull from now who are completely okay with whatever freaky frog stuff Austin is on. I was talking with my sister. She thinks Austin was high during the reunion. I don't know if that man was high, but he definitely was not there mentally. But I was just that's Austin. But Austin is one of Jeremiah's only friends from the show still. Jeremiah's getting torn apart, and he asked Austin for some help, and he's like, sorry, I just zoned out for 5 minutes. And then Jeremiah says something are you serious right now? Or like, am I alone in this? Am I missing something? And then Austin finally like works up the energy to say something, but it's just like, have your friends back at least, please. Maybe you don't have the energy to go back and forth with Jaden, but come on, Austin, please. Please. Where are you? Another thing we finally saw the unseen footage of was a conversation where Huda told Shelly, hey, I know you're interested in Chris. I'm also interested in him, and he expressed he had some interest in me. Why don't I bring him back to the main villa so you can go back to Ace, and then Chris will be there for both you to explore and me to explore. And I hate to like admit that Huda was right, but like she was very clear in what she had to say to Shelly. I don't think Shelly should have been that mad at her. It really was exactly how you said, Huda, so kudos to you. They also showed unseen footage from what led to Hannah being sent home. It came down to like Iris was on the chopping block, but she had only had time to explore with Jeremiah, and Jeremiah and her were forced into that couple. She had not yet gotten to explore something. Hannah was into Charlie, and Shelly really didn't want Amaya to go home, so they were discussing it. Sierra starts crying because it's so hard to send a friend home. They count backwards from 10. And at the stroke of 0, they all collectively say in unison, Hannah. I don't think Hannah should have gone home, but that's, again, because I believe in it being like Love Island, and the people who are finding love there should be rewarded with that by being able to stay. But at the end of the day, it does come down to friendships that you have with people too. And I don't think it would have been right to send Iris home either, because she wasn't like in a couple she was excited about yet. And so the only right answer was Amaya, but had Amaya been sent home, she would not have won. And so everything happens for a reason. I'm glad Amaya won, but I do think Hannah should not have gone home. Okay, Jeremiah comes and he states his case, talking about how could I ever have love bombed somebody when, Huda, I asked you if I was being overbearing, you said no, and then at the same time you said that I wasn't doing enough for you. And that is a valid reason. I don't understand why everybody always wants to say Jeremiah was also a love bomber. Huda kept getting on that man for not doing enough. Like there's no way he could have been a love bomber. And so yeah, clear that up, ate that up. Good job, eh? We get to the portion where we are just showing the blow-ups of Hurricane Huda, and she's sitting there laughing. Like, this mess is funny. You terrorized a man on international television. You're sitting here cracking up, and everybody else is staring at complete disbelief at what you did when they're reliving it for the second time. And he goes, I would ask what you thought about it, but clearly it was hysterical to you. She's like, well, it's just so funny because I've done so much, work and self-searching, and I've just, I look back at that stuff and it's just so funny because I would never react like that now. Like, I definitely could have done without the cursing. Like, that was just a little much. It's been 1 month since the show ended. And Andy's literally reading my mind in real time. He goes, it's been a month and you're already a brand new person? Clark it! Am I doing it right? Clark it, Andy! Yes! Because how are you a new person in a month, girl? Have you had time to yourself? I feel like ever since you left the villa, it's been podcast chair to Louis' arm to red carpet. Have you had time to sit with yourself and soul search? I don't think you're a new person in a month, boo-boo child. I don't. I'm sorry. And then the final bit of unseen footage, we see heart rate challenge gate. We finally see what the heck happened. If you need a refresher, Huda was basically grinding dry humping on Ace's meat while he was right next to Shelly. As if that wasn't enough, she was moaning and groaning. And then if that wasn't enough, she turned around and shook that mess, shook her cakes right in that man's pupil. Booty flakes just all on his sclera. And that man slapped it and grabbed it. Like, Huda, yes, girl, you did too much. Shelly, you were right. Booty flakes was all up in Ace's mouth. And Ace was having a grand old time. So, I mean, we also should have gone on Ace a little bit, because it's like, why was you slapping that girl's butt and grabbing it? Chill out with all that. But nah, Huda definitely crossed the line. Yeah, that is a wrap with all my think pieces on Love Island Season 7. Love Island Games is coming out in September if you guys plan on watching. And until next time, wear your seatbelt. Bye.